Kristen and welcome back to week 16 of my pregnancy. I cannot believe I am officially 17 weeks. So let's just get into the recap of week 16. Pretty much I have had these same symptoms that I have had last week. I'm still having a backache and the sciatic nerve pain, the headaches, but I'm thinking the headaches are probably more to do with the allergies, because I have seasonal allergies. There's a lot of pollen in the air and everything like that. So I'm thinking they have more to do with that, a mixture of that and pregnancy. I have been had trouble sleeping through the night up until the last 2 days. I was just having sleepless nights. I mean, my son is teething, and so he's cut 3 teeth in about the last 10 days. But that hasn't been what's been keeping me up. It's just I haven't been able to go to sleep. So it's been really, I've just been really tired. So I am still 124 pounds. I have not gained any weight from last week. Last week I had gained a pound, and so now I am still at total weight gain for 2 pounds. I hate saying that though, because it's I was definitely a lot heavier than, I hadn't lost quite all of my baby weight yet, but anyway, whatever. I'm not going to worry about that now. We're going to worry about that at the end. So I had a doctor's appointment this week. And let's see, like I said, I stayed the same with weight. They moved my due date back to September 18th from September 20th. It was originally the 18th. My period basically said that it should have been the 18th, and my original ultrasound that I got at 7 weeks said that it should have been September 18th. And then they gave me an ultrasound at 10 weeks, and they wanted to switch the due date. They said, and basically this week the doctor told me that the midwife should not have changed the due date because it wasn't a big difference of 8%. So he moved it back to the 18th, so it's really not going to make that big of a difference. The baby's going to come when he wants to come anyway, but whatever. So the due date is now September 18th. The baby's heart rate was 140. I don't really believe a whole lot of the whole, wives' tales or whatever, old wives' tales, but it's still fun. But that really didn't tell me anything, because I definitely looked it up, and it was if it's below 140, it's a boy. If it's above 140, it's a girl. So I guess, I don't know. So this week I went to my doctor's appointment, but I also went back and I had tests run for the 16-week kind of quad screening and whatever other tests that they run at 16 weeks to check for anything that could be wrong with the baby. They check for that all at 16 weeks, and it's just standard. I don't know that it was optional, because I opted out for a couple of other tests. This was I was just told that I needed to have this blood drawn. So anyway, I don't know that it was optional, but I'll let you guys know the results whenever I get them back. I'm sure everything is normal. Basically this week, the increased stress that I think caused me to have no sleep was that they informed me at this doctor's appointment that I was moved from a regular low-risk pregnancy, normal low-risk pregnancy, to a medium risk at this point. I had mentioned back in an earlier video that they had found group B strep in my urine culture, and the levels were pretty high apparently, because I went back a couple of weeks ago. I had said to have some blood taken because I tend to borderline anemic, and they were checking my blood, so they also checked my urine and found that the levels had not gone down any. And I guess group B strep tends to clear itself up every 5 weeks, something like that. And I'm not a doctor, I'm just paraphrasing what my doctor told me. And so basically it hasn't cleared up at all. The numbers are still relatively high for this stage. So they are really concerned about preterm labor. After talking to 2 different doctors, I have decided to take the antibiotics to lower my risk of preterm labor. We kind of weighed the pros and cons, and I definitely think that some of the cons of taking antibiotics during your pregnancy, it's my opinion that it is better for me and my baby for me to take the antibiotics now than to have a baby that has born with underdeveloped lungs or something like that due to not treating this at this point. So anyway, I'm going back weekly for weekly urine screens. So when I went back again to have the blood work done for the quad screen, they did take another urine sample. I haven't heard whether or not, it was halfway through my 10 days of my antibiotics, so I haven't really heard whether or not it has gone down or anything yet. I'm sure I'll be hearing something from them soon if it has not gone down. And we're just going to manage it like that. They did go ahead and go through the whole protocol with me for preterm labor and what I need to do should I go into preterm labor, because my next doctor's appointment will not be until 22 weeks. So at 20 weeks, I no longer go to the ER. I would go directly to labor and delivery. So they went ahead and went over all of that stuff with me at this point. And I think that kind of just borderline made me a little bit nervous. You know, I think any mother would be nervous if they told her that. I especially worry because I do have 2 other kids, one who is very young, and I get very nervous. You know, I just get very nervous. So I don't like not knowing things, you know, and I know, which is kind of ironic considering I've said I'm not sure if I want to know the sex or not, but so I've just been a little on edge this week, trying to say, you know, relax and things like that, and not really worry about it, because I'm sure this is in God's hands, and I'm sure that everything is fine and that this baby is going to stay put. I actually have this strange feeling that the baby will be late. Both of my other children were born early. I think I'm going to film their like labor stories coming up, so we can all see how those 2 differed or were similar to this one in the future. And we can just kind of like look at the similarities and stuff like that. I think that will be helpful for some of you who are having your first child or your second child, or who are not even pregnant yet and are just really interested in knowing about pregnancies before you start, you know, going through your own. So yeah, anyway, that's pretty much been it this week. I'm still totally on the fence about whether or not I'm going to find out the sex. I feel like lately this week, another pregnancy symptom, out of breath all the time. But yeah, I've been kind of on the fence. I feel like it might help me bond with the baby better. Plus, I saw some over-the-top adorable Hello Kitty swaddle blankets that made me want to know immediately the sex of the baby, even though like I go back and forth. Like one day I'm like really convinced that it's a girl, and I just feel like it's a girl because some certain things are different. And then my husband thinks that it's a girl, and then I go back and forth to like, oh no, it's got to be a boy. I already have 2 boys. It's gonna be a boy. You know, so I go back and forth. I don't know. I'm gonna do the ring test this week, and I'm going to either put it up on its own, or I'll mix it in with next week's video, but we'll see. I'm gonna do the ring test, and then you guys can let me know on that video how accurate yours was. And there's a couple of like urine tests that you can do. I know there's the InGender, IntelliGender, and then there's a couple other like at home type things that you can do with like baking soda and stuff like that. So I may do that stuff this week. My husband's having surgery tomorrow, and so he's going to be home. It's outpatient surgery, so he's going to be home for a couple of days. So I thought that would be something just fun for us to do and film to show you guys and stuff like that next week. So anyway, that's pretty much it. I've totally rambled. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just out of it. Okay, so I did buy a couple things this week, so I figured I would go ahead and show them to you guys. I picked up some Kubi bras. I've talked about them before. This is the one in melon. And then I got one in mint because I think mint is gorgeous, and I haven't been able to find any maternity items in mint, so I did get this. These are basically bralette type bras with these straps come off. They have a little like spongy like padding or whatever in there, and I wore these my entire pregnancy with Declan through nursing. I wore them as sleeping bras because they were definitely offered a lot more support than your traditional like nursing sleep bra. I just really love them. I had a coupon for buy one get one free online, so I bought one and got one free, so I really love them, and they're very comfortable and whatever. So a couple of things that I picked up for Declan from Old Navy. Gap was having like 40% off, and I think Old Navy was having 30, so when I bought something for myself, I figured I would pick Declan up some little onesies. I got Daxton some stuff too, but he's already torn through it all, and who knows what happened to it, so it's up in his room somewhere. So I got Declan this little cute little onesie with these little skulls on it. Then he got one that's just blue and white striped, and then this one is just plain blue. These are all 12 to 18 months. Declan is, he'll be 10 months on the 13th, and he is like 23 pounds. So he's like beefy. Like there's not a whole lot I can do about that. He's big, so I gotta buy his clothes a little bit bigger so we have stuff for him to grow into, you know? Because it's like some days he's just like out of his clothes. Okay, so I picked this up. This is just a Gap Pure Body shirt. This is not the maternity line. I bought this for post-baby lounging. I got this on clearance and I think I ended up paying like $3 for it. And the next thing that I got was a dress from Gap. Let me stand up to show this to you because it's really, really, really long. It's just a really long like tank toppy dress. It goes all the way to the floor. It is a maxi dress. It's just plain black, and then it has a little pocket on. It's like another one of those dresses with a little teeny tiny, like, you know, cute little pocket detail. I really like that. The material is super light. It's just Gap. I don't know. It just says Gap Maternity. So, and it's 55% cotton. It's so soft and so thin. It's going to be perfect for summer, especially, you know, with the humidity and stuff like that. It's going to be awesome. So those were all my purchases for this week, and that was pretty much it for the week. So yeah. I will go ahead and show you guys my belly. So I'm just going to show you guys my belly. I'm sitting kind of on my tippy toes right now, but as you can see, I'm definitely starting to poke out. So there we go. That is my tummy at 17 weeks. All right, guys, that is it. Thank you so much for watching week 16, and I will talk to you guys next week. Bye.